Hello, this is Professor Gibson. Welcome to Math 261 this summer here at John Tyler. This is a little course overview. I just wanted to run through a few things with everybody. You can see at the top of the screen here, I have our calendar. This is calendar is also in Canvas. Now, let's start at the top. It says tentative because I've learned to do that because sometimes things change. This is the plan. I'm not 100% it won't change, but in this case, I have taught this course before a couple times, so I really don't expect any changes. Unless I made a typo somewhere that I'm not seeing, this is probably what it is. I want you to notice there's one little oddity this summer. It's a little bit different than I've done things in the past, so we'll have to see how it goes. I've set the quizzes, right? So there's homework and quizzes and tests, and there's homework every week, and there's a quiz every week, and some weeks there's two quizzes. That's what I've done. If you see here, it says here's the homework for week 1, and there's one quiz. And what happens is there's a quiz for every 2 sections in the book, but because it's at the summer pacing, we have to do 3 sections a week. So I'm actually the one that made the quizzes, but I decided just to leave it. So the quizzes will give you feedback, if you will, to yourself about how you're actually doing every 2 sections. But what makes it a little bit odd is because there's 3 homeworks a week, most weeks, and 2 quizzes, and each quiz only covers 2 sections. Some weeks there's going to be 2 sections or two quizzes. So the second week here, for example, there's 2 quizzes, right? The first week there's 1, the second week there's 2, the third week there's 1, fourth week again there's 2. All right. Another thing to notice, like if you look at test 1 here, I've got it in the bracket for week 4. Okay, it covers the material on week up through week 3. So weeks 1 through 3, everything in 1 through 3 is on test 1. And you have until, and I will set it to open up Saturday morning of week 3, and it'll be open through Friday night of week 4. So that's why you see the due date here of June 27th. All right. Same kind of thing happens for test 2. We'll finish the material that's on it at the end of week 6, and then it'll open up and then be open until Friday night of week 7. All right. And then the final exam is going to be due Friday night of week 8. Okay. So that's our basic layout. You'll find things are in Canvas. And I tell you what, let's just go over Canvas and have a look at some stuff there. Okay, so when you first come into Canvas, you probably see this screen right here. Where the real core of our course is in the modules area, though. So you can do it by clicking course content, but I just click the modules over here on the left. Now my view is actually a little different than yours, so let me back up to home and pick student view. All right, so now I should be seeing the same thing you see. So come in, click modules. At this point, so there's the getting started, which I'd recommend you go in and kind of work through, just look through those, see what's there. This is a little thing to give you an introduction into how to enter answers and stuff into MyMathLab. More about that in just a few minutes. And then this class has 8 weeks, and I have 3 of them up right now. You just click on the week, and it'll list everything that you're supposed to do for that week, right? It's pretty straightforward. Okay. Now, if you'll notice here, each week, I think with maybe one exception, there's 3 sections of homework, okay? And so that's 2-1, 2-2, and 2-3. You'll notice the quiz only goes through 2-2. So I'm using the quizzes from a previous time I taught this, and I decided not to remake them because it gives you, the purpose of a quiz is to give you feedback on where you are and how well you really did learn that material. So the quizzes cover 2 sections of material. So what's going to happen then is one week there's 1 quiz, and then the next week, like we see week 2 here, there's 2 quizzes. All right. And then the same thing will happen. Week 3, there's 1 quiz. Week 4, there'll be 2 quizzes. Now, there's still 3 sections of homework each week. The homework is set. The homework and quizzes are connected together. You have to get an 80% on the homework in order to take the quiz. All right. The homework is also set to give you as many attempts on each individual question as you need. Once you get a question wrong 3 times, I believe it is, there's an option will appear on the screen. You can click and you can get another version of the question. It'll tell you the answer to the previous one. You can keep trying. Somewhere in there, I mean, you've tried enough where you're just not getting it. You definitely want to ask me for some help or get some help somewhere. All right. Now the quizzes are set up differently. You can't take these. You can't redo individual questions, but you can retake the whole quiz. So you can take each quiz twice. But before you take it a second time, what happens is you'll have to take the review, right? The review after each quiz can only be taken after you've taken the quiz the first time. And then it's built around the questions you missed on your first attempt. And you need to get your attempt on that, rather, you need to get your review after quiz up to at least 80 before you can take a quiz the second time. I very strongly recommend that you get your homework scores and your review after quiz scores up much higher than 80. I mean, my experience is that people who push those up more like 95 and even 100, although, I mean, I know occasionally you're going to get a question you just have a hard time figuring out how to answer, but 95 is a goal to shoot for. Because at this point, in the long run on your tests, you're going to tend to score lower than you did on your quizzes and your homework. So you don't want to leave your quizzes and homework down around 80 and below on the quizzes potentially. You want to get your understanding up higher than that so that you can do better than that on the homework and don't end up with a grade that's lower than you want just because you were cutting things too close. All right. So there's the way everything's laid out. And each section of each week goes readings and videos and then homework and then quizzes. So notice here, this link doesn't work for me in student view. It works in faculty view. So the textbook and additional videos, if you click on that link, it takes you to MyMathLab, and you will see in there you've got it shows you textbook readings and it's got a video, actually multiple videos on several little subtopics, usually for each section. So there's one that says section 2.4 textbook and videos. You click through there, you got to get to the next screen, I think, and click one more time after that. There'll be typically, I mean, there's 5 to 10 videos per section. They're super short, usually 2, 3, 4 minutes. Occasionally some are longer, but so don't look at it once and freak, oh my gosh, I'm not watching all these videos. Well, if you look, you see most of them are really quite short. Okay, so we have the growth mindset videos are just kind of a perspective sort of thing. There will be a bonus question, actually a couple of bonus questions on the first test that come off of the content in the growth mindset videos. There's 4 of them. So each of the first 4 weeks, there's a growth mindset video that's assigned. Then you'll have the homework and the quizzes. And then if you remember now on the our first test, let's see. Oh, actually, that's not in this class. That's the next class. Sorry. All right. So that's the way that works there. Homework, quizzes, videos, tests. They're all accessed right there through Canvas. Now, really, what's happening in this class is the homework, the quizzes, the tests, the videos, the ebook. They're all actually in MyMathLab. And so the first time you click on one of these assignments, the very first one, whichever one it is that you click on first to take you into MyMathLab, it is going to ask you for an access code. And there's a couple of options. If you've already bought MyMathLab Access, you can put it in right there. If you haven't, I believe there's a way to click through and just buy it with a credit or a debit card right then. You'll get instant access if you do that. All right. So those are your 2 options for buying it. Either have a code you can put in right then or give them a credit or debit card. I guess your credit card number is your code, if you will. Third option is there's a temporary access. You can click that. It's free, but it only lasts for 2 weeks. And the intent is in case you're waiting on money or you've ordered your access code and hasn't come in yet or whatever. It gives you a little space to get started on your work right away. Okay? All right. Let's go back. Let's see what else I want to talk about here. We talked about the Canvas and the modules. All right, one last thing. Online courses, sometimes I've noticed, the reason I want to talk about this is I've noticed that a lot of times students don't really connect on how the attendance works in an online course. So what happens here, let's just read, I'm going to read starting right there. A course week runs from Monday at 12:01 a.m. through Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Each week of the course, you'll have homework assignments, quizzes, and tests due in my math lab. There's either a quiz or a test due each week. Some weeks have 2 quizzes. The quizzes require that you score at least 80% on the related homework before you can take them. A missing score or a score of 0 on any quiz or test will count as 1 absence. All right. So quizzes and tests, in addition to being the points that they're worth, that is the way the attendance is taken. Miss any quiz or any test, that counts as an absence. All right. You're allowed no more than 2 for the last day to withdraw. So you're allowed 2. If you get a third absence before that cutoff date or the last day to withdraw with a W, I will be regretfully, but I will withdraw from the course. It's what I'm supposed to do. All right. So, by the way, as far as getting started late or whatever, students who fail to complete any assignments by 11:59 p.m. on June 9th will be considered as never attended and will also be dropped. This is just standard school policy again. Students who accumulate more than 3 absences by July 7. What's happening is this thing up here I talked about the last day to withdraw. Actually, it's more than 2 absences by July 7. All right, so in other words, 3 absences or more than 2 will be withdrawn. A little reminder, the 2 dates that we've just talked about, the last day to drop with a refund is June 9th. And that's also the day by which if you haven't done anything, then you get automatically dropped. And then the last day to withdraw yourself is July 7. And that's also the day then if you have 3 absences before I close of business on that day, then you will, then I withdraw you and give you a W. You get a W. If you get past that day without violating the attendance policy, you can stay till the end. You get whatever grade you get. All right. Before or up to and on July 7th, you can withdraw yourself at any point. All right, so that's the general overview plus a little focus on attendance there because it's an online class. I hope you found that helpful. Again, my name is Professor Gibson. I enjoy teaching. I really like helping people learn their math and teaching and the whole deal. So you are never bothering me. You're always welcome to ask for help. My contact info is in Canvas in a couple places. All right, I'm looking forward to a great semester. I hope you enjoy the class. It's time to go.